Okay, morning everyone, great to see you, beautiful sunny day. Let's pray. We thank you, Lord, for all the things that are going on in the background that are really taking the masks off the people who are pushing for the one world government and the new world order. We thank you that so much is just falling on its face and being exposed. And we again ask and thank you for giving us the wisdom and the strategies to go forward. So be it. Right, great news out of New Zealand. New Zealand has abandoned Jacinda Ardern's push for net zero. That's it, done, just done. And they have plans to expand their offshore gas fields following their disaster ban on oil drilling. So that is really good. We can stand up to these global elites, as they call themselves. Global grubs is probably more relevant. Okay, so you would probably have heard that the WHO pandemic treaty was passed this week. And I looked on Google and tried to see any information. It was all just singing its praises, of course, how wonderful it will be. It's for the benefit of everyone, and especially after all the damage that was done with COVID-19. And you can't get this information off Google. You've got to go to Brave or whatever. But they can call a pandemic at any time with no evidence, globally, I believe. Let's face it, we know COVID-19 did not exist. That whole thing was about money and controlling the people. And many of us were not controlled. We're here because we would not be controlled, and we will not be controlled. And we are not the only ones. People are rising up across this great nation of ours. So George Christensen put out a very interesting information piece this week. And this happened live in the Oval Office. Sorry, I'm going to have to read a little bit of it because I only did it this morning. Trump has exposed the genocide that the world has ignored. And he confronted the South African President, Cyril Ramaphosa, with something no world leader has ever dared to say before: genocide. And with the cameras rolling, he played a video of the radical South African politicians chanting, "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer." He backed it with images, with stats, and with blood-soaked reality. The Ramaphosa was left speechless. He'd never been confronted with anything like that. Trump said, they take the land, they kill the farmer, and there are no repercussions to them. Nothing happens to them. He didn't flinch, as he doesn't. He didn't apologise. He simply told the truth. He said the numbers don't lie. 13,000 plus farm attacks. Over 2,000 white farmers have been murdered. I would say that's a very conservative number. One farmer killed every single week. Many tortured, raped, burned alive and mutilated. This isn't random violence. It's targeted, it's brutal, and it's racial. I personally have friends who moved out from South Africa. Their children were tiny because they knew if they stayed there, their daughter, who was little at the time, would be raped by the time she was 9. It was a foregone conclusion, and so they got out. Imagine if this was happening with any other group. Would the UN stay silent? Would the media cover it up? Would world leaders shrug? Of course not. But because the victims are white over there, they're ignored until now. So Trump's doing some good stuff. I guess you've heard about the new emergency services tax in Victoria. I think we need to look at that. $5 billion because they want it for the country fire services, and they are going to tax the regional farmers to get this money to pay for rural fire service. The regional areas, you can hold that up, regional areas are struggling under drought. We know that the farmers struggle anyway. We know that they're being taxed with their rates and everything else. And the government in Victoria passed it. And guess what time? Guess what time? 2 a.m, exactly. Making a deal with the Greens. So the quotes coming out of that are, we're all volunteers, we're available 24/7, 365 days of the year, and they just want to keep taxing us and taxing us. There's just no relief anywhere. These people give their time to save life and property, and they are now being asked to pay to do that. How wrong is this? And having lived out there, they're amazing people. They work hard, and they are 24/7. There's a fire call, they're out. That's it. I've seen it in action. And they're so dedicated, and now they're the ones that have to pay for what they're doing to save their communities. So this is exciting. The people are not lying down. Look at this photo. And we'll put a big one up on the video. But thousands and thousands of people, volunteers, farmers, fire trucks, flocked to the steps of Victorian Parliament. Google it. Look at the images. It's incredible. And all reports say the police were amazing. That would be very different to the police during COVID, wouldn't it? So they're probably getting sick of what's going on too. So Jacinta Allen is not popular. She says she'll give 100% of the money to the firefighting organisation, but obviously they don't believe her, and they're actually saying, could be 100, could be 1%. Well, my personal opinion is it won't be 100. So we've got similar things here with our people out of town who have acreage but they're closer to town. Their rates are going up phenomenally because our council wants them off the land. So Mackay Regional Council wants to get our people this is what is happening nationwide. But one of those people recently, his rates from one bill to the next went from $3,500 to $50,000. Not kidding you, not far from where we are right now. So, it's disgusting the way that all of this is happening, but people are standing up. People won't take it. Once the hip pocket, look, we've had thousands and thousands here, a sea of people all around here, when the vaccine mandates came in. And then people get comfortable and think, can't be bothered. Well, pretty soon, those people will be back because their comfort is being taken away from them. Whilst we're on council, there was a vote taken in council to ask the councillors whether they would give the people a say in having divisional councillors. Because we hear people like Youngala and Serena and Kamala, I suppose. How far it goes? Yeah, it goes down that far. They don't have representation. Our councillors are all, pretty close in, almost all of them. And so this was only to do a survey to find out what the people want. So get this, councillors, do you want to know what the people want? Oh, you can guess who said no, we don't, and voted against it. Come on, give me a name. He didn't get a vote. Marty Bella? Karen May? Belinda Hassan. Don't even want the people to have a say. Shame on you. Shame on you, Marty, Karen and Belinda. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You've been put there to find out what the people want and support them, and you don't even want to find out what they need. big shout out, huge big shout out to Nathania McRae, Alison Jones, Peter Sheedy, Heath Patton, Namaka Korawa and Ashley Johnson and George Christensen. George said, divisions mean that every part of the community has someone in their corner and local voices are heard. So a big shout out to those councillors. You know, we're getting a say in council now. We've got a few good ones in, and it's kind of like the good starting to spread through the ones who weren't so good prior to that election. I think there was definitely corruption in that. As you know, we sent evidence of that to the CCC, who just said, we haven't got enough evidence, don't know how much you need. But so they probably thought, well, if we let a couple in, it'll look like it's valid. Well, the few that we got in are really making a stand and making a change. We need to support them. So obviously, the survey is now open to the public. It ends at the end of this month, which is this week. But you have to do a survey. You have to actually join the Connecting Mackay so that you have access to all this stuff. And so I've got Jodie's handing them out. Please, this is something every single one of us can do. Get passionate. Sit at your computer for 5 minutes and do it. And have a say. The survey itself is pretty useless if you ask me, but you do have a chance to say why. Why do we want divisional councillors? Simply because everyone in this shire needs to be represented. It's only fair. That's all you need to put in the box. So while you're on it, have a look while you're on that Connecting Mackay when you log in and join up. Do their livability survey too. Rhonda and I really had fun doing that. So do that livability survey. If you have any trouble with it, give me a bell. I'll give you a hand. Right, last item. Capricornia Energy Hub. Quite a few of us went up to Yungala on Thursday, late afternoon, for a question and answer by the people planning the hydro plans for Broken River. My goodness, question and answer it was not. Questions were asked, they had no answers. They had no answers. It was just laughable, it really was. And so it was amazing. So Jodie actually put a really good post on her Facebook page, and I've asked her if she'll read it out to us.
When they did answer questions, they answered them not realising that anyone is going to put anything together. So, the ultimate side hustle, this is called. I went to the town meeting in Yungala this afternoon to hear dignitaries from the Capricornia Pumped Hydro project provide community consultation. By the finish, it was clear to me that the pumped hydro does 5 things. It steals from the grid, makes money doing it, causes loss and harm to the community and the environment, respectively, and lies all the way to the bank. To power its turbines, the Capricornia Pumped Hydro project accesses energy directly from the power grid during the cheapest times. They were very certain to make sure we understood that. They said it over and over, during the cheapest times. The company pays the lowest price possible for that energy. With the energy extracted from the grid, the dam will generate power and, like a big battery, hold that energy for a period of hours until peak energy times roll around. That energy is then sold back to the grid at the highest price possible. In the process, the dam produces a 23% deficit of the energy taken from the grid. It degrades in storage. This 23% loss will mean a new permanent and unnecessary strain on the grid that they took it from. It also ensures that energy prices will remain high for the end user as the company sells to the grid at peak usage times at the highest price. A good analogy for all of this is the company pays the lowest possible wholesale price for a product. They lose some in transit But this doesn't matter because they will sell what's left at the highest possible retail price, recovering any loss and turning a healthy profit into the bargain. And what's more, no one will ever work it out. While Capricornia Pumped Hydro Project promises jobs will be available, they were sure to let us know that they did not know what the percentage was of those jobs that would be offered to the locals. They do say beyond the percentage of jobs allocated for locals, the rest will be sourced outside of the region. The biggest lie is that pumped hydro produces renewable energy. If by renewable they mean they tap into the grid power, which is generated by fossil fuels, coal, diesel or gas, then I guess it's renewable. A hydroelectric dam is nothing more than a parasite hanging off the side of the grid. It will cause a loss to the energy grid, increase power bills and harm the community. It will tear up the country, causing irreparable damage during construction. Destroy the native habitat of koalas, powerful owls, Yungala honeyeaters and more, to say nothing of the direct damage to the section of Broken River that they intend to build the project on. The best part is, the owners of this private enterprise will smile while doing it. Something else that I'd like to tell you, just because it's there, and I took them through this, asking several questions to find out the answer at the end. The trucks that they will use to remove the rock and rubble that they will blast use tyres, massive tyres. Those tyres, while they are recyclable, thank you. While they are recyclable, they don't. They don't, because those tyres, $20,000, $30,000 a pop, then cost an enormous amount of money to recycle, to transport off-site, to get them where they have to go. So what the mines do is they stockpile them. They don't get recycled. Mackay Recycling, they have not got the facilities to even do that. Nowhere in the world. So those tyres on those trucks that are going to be used, and he said hundreds, over the period of the 2 years that they say the construction stage will take, and tyres only last 6 months, by the way, those tyres will be put somewhere, probably in the ground. Thank you.
Unreal. So, Jodie just puts things together so well. I love the way she thinks. And I just want to give a shout out to Steve at the Criterion Hotel in Finch Hatton. Several of us called in there for dinner on the way home. Their pies are unreal. If you haven't had one, they're worth going out there for. But he was amazing. He had a real good chat with us, and it was fantastic. So a big shout out to you, Steve, and the Finch Hatton pub. And again, we say, how does the government get away with what they're doing? People comply. People are stopping complying. People are now rising up. They are rising up in great numbers. Without violence, we don't need violence. We just simply refuse to comply. So again, what can I do? Said 26 million Australians. We can change our entire nation.